undefined. Come into contact through circumstances. What does it mean? Before, before I just recognize what it is, there is nothing exists. Before I recognize what it is, there is nothing exists. See? Once I recognize what it is, then the things come out. See? That's again the teacher. What the again teachers? Something like this. Everything begins when one self and thinks, most of which are undefined. See? Before I just recognize this, see, none of the things exist. See, once I just recognize the things, what we think of the things come out in our mind. That's later. That's later. In another way, see, what we think about the things are non-substance. What we think of the self or I is non-self. That is understandable. This is a very important thing for realizing who we are. Before recognition, nothing at all. See? After recognition, everything comes out. See? This is a kind of borderline. You see, between before recognition and after recognition. But unfortunately, see, as far as humans are concerned, the people don't know much about what's happened before recognition. Only people know much about what's happened after recognition. After recognition is another reality. After recognition is the creation of thinking. That is, people don't know much about anything. Because people don't know much about what happened before recognition. People don't know much about this reality. That is, people don't know much about anything. This is very important thing. Everything begins when one self and thing, both of which are undefined. No separation. Come into contact through circumstances. Then when I just face to this, I simply become a GP. This much the things just happened before recognition. Okay. This is come into contact through circumstances. This is called both karma and way. Undefined, you may say, you never be able to just recognize the thing as substance, as substantial. But what people think about, see? People just recognize everything's substantial. That is a completely delusion. Just come out without substance. Everything just come out without substance. That's the reason we don't have any trouble. Once you just attach, once you just recognize the things as substance, then it comes as a trouble. creation program. When I first did, simply just come out. Simply come, simply reality and come out without without awareness, without awareness. But people don't know much about these realities. People always just recognize the things as substantial or as substance. This causes trouble. You see? See, as long as we care much about the things, you see, coming up in our mind without substance. We don't know. We don't need to care much about anything. As long as we don't care much about, we don't need to care much about anything. We don't have any trouble. We don't have any trouble. Okay. This is called both karma and way. This is a way. This is a way we are just acting right now. See? That's the reason we don't have any trouble creation problem in our daily life. The things come out. The things come out without substance. Right. That's the reason we have to do that study. What the other is, as I just mentioned about, as the patriarchs just mentioned, as teaching, whatever thinking and thought come out in our mind, without any reason. Without any reason. That's the reason we don't need to take care of it at all. Simply just let it go as it is. This doesn't. This doesn't. The more you do this doesn't, the more you become the things you face. You become one with the things you face. Eventually, there is no separation. There is no separation between this and this. One. That's this is called both karma and way. One. But people, what people just think of karma is a bad connotation, mostly bad connotation. But karma is nothing concerns good or bad. A kind of you may say activity, action. You see, when I face this, I simply become as it is. One. This is common. This is common. That's kind of activity. So we just call the common. And also we just call the way. Call it as a way. See? That's the essential. That is the essential of ourselves. Without doing anything, we're not finish this. Simply, I just become as it is. It's a, it's such a wondrous thing. Wonder. Without doing anything. Without doing anything is without self. Without self, I simply become as it is. Why do I have to be? Why do I have to be? Without doing. This is a karma. This is the way. Nothing concerned with thinking. Nothing concerned with thinking. That's much our activity. Our activity is complete and universal. Nothing concerned with see? What we think about what we think of the self. Our activity is complete and universal, as the Master Doge just teaching. Okay. Okay, this is enough. Everything is begin when oneself and thing, most of which are undefined, come into the contact through circumstance. Undefined is without self, without self. Both of us, both of both of us without self, and then you come to come into contact and become one, and then things just come. This is the called both karma and the way. In other words, this is our essential self. But people don't know much about this really at all, unfortunately. People are always acting this way, but people don't know much about what they are acting, how they are acting. This causes trouble, question, problem. That's it. Okay, so we go back to the today's Gien Roshi corrected saying, number 34. Number 34. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. Yeah, listen. I always try to let it go. Let it go. First, let it go. Let you stay in the life as you want to. let you stay in the library as you want to. Okay, very good. As you want. But for time being, just don't sleep. Don't sleep. Okay. Okay, so let it go. Very good expression. Let it go. Okay. So what are the Giendos just want to teach you? With number 34, let it go. Let it go. A delusion. Delusion are all things that arise in human beings. All things that appear, whether they are good or bad. And we attach ourselves to them by making them our own program, whether they are good or bad. This is called delusion. You see, the things is very simple, as I just always mention about what the thinking of a soul is. See, thinking of soul is just coming up, in our mind without any reason. So why do we have to care much about it? Why do we have to care much about it? You see, without any reason. We don't need to care much about it. Care much about it at all. As far as other people, as people, as we are concerned, we always just try to deal with, try to find that all around, except Garish, because he always sleeping. He doesn't have a time to take care of it. Language. Okay. Delusion. Yeah. That is a delusion. Because we don't need to do the things we don't need to do it, but we do it. Yeah. Because what the people thinking of the thinking of a thought, well, thinking thought, thinking and thought is a reality. That's the reason people always care much about it. But thinking a thought just come out in the mind without any need. Why people don't know much about this reality is in this body, as I have always mentioned about, in this body. See, so what people think of is a kind of the self exists in this body. A kind of a self or I exist. This is totally misunderstanding. This one is empty. This one is empty. Nothing concerned with what we think of the self or I. That's the reason we don't need to care much about the thinking of self at all. See? This is a whole problem. See? Because people don't know much about this reality at all. That's the reason we have to do that's it. See? The first person who realized this reality is Shakyamuni Buddha. Yeah, she is so great. So, it's totally impossible to realize who we are. Totally impossible to realize who we are. But he did it. Very fortunate. He did it. Then he just for the teachers. So if we just want to realize who we are, this is what we have to do. And then Master Dogen did it. Master Dogen did it. And then he just realized who he was. And he just did it. He just teach us how to do that with universal recommendation for that. Whatever thinking or thought come out in your mind. Whatever thinking or thought come out in your mind. You see, we never care much about it. Thinking that is go as it is. This is that if we can do, we'll be able to encounter the essential self. Oh, it's a totally different. See, the essential self is totally different from what we think of the self. That's really we have to do that. Okay. The action of the mind is not caused by thinking. The action of the mind is not caused by thinking. Whatever thinking thought just come out in our mind without any reason. And that's the reason. See? It doesn't cause us any problem at all. Okay, the action of the mind is not caused by thinking, but from the beginning, the action of the mind is here regardless of our thinking, and it is us. Without self, thinking so simply just acting. Without self, thinking and thought just acting. People don't know much about this reality. It's a totally problem. It causes problem, question, trouble. What people just think of the thinking and thought is there is a kind of a self, there is kind of self in this body, and this kind of self think or think of what we have to do, we want to do, then kind of thinking and thought come out in our mind. This is totally misunderstanding. This is totally misunderstanding. But people don't know much about it. That's the reason people always care much about the thinking and thought. It's caused us trouble. That is why the action of the mind is not caused by thinking, but from the beginning, the action of the mind is here regardless of our thinking, and it's acting, simply just acting, without any reason. Without any reason, but people are attached. But unfortunately, people are attached to thinking and so why too much? God, that's the reason. Even the attachment, in a sense, attachment to thinking thoughts causes trouble. But people never understand it. People never understand it. Very unfortunate. You see, before thinking or the thoughts come out in our mind, we are simply acting. We are simply acting. Thinking of thoughts come out in our mind later, after activity. People don't know much about this. That much people don't know much about who they are. That much people don't know much about who they are. See? That's the reason. Within our life, we have to do that and realize who we are. It's the only reason why we can just be born as a human being or human. Okay. The action of the mind is not caused by thinking, but from the beginning, the action of the mind is here regardless of our thinking, and it is acting. It's the same function, exactly same function. The things to eyes, sound to the ear, the smell to the nose, and taste to the mouth, and then the kind of perception of the heart and the cold to the body, and the thinking. The exactly same function. No different at all. Those six senses just acting, just acting without self. Without self, so wonderful, so great, without self, without center, without center. Those six senses just acting as they, as they want to. As they want to. No, without center. They are just acting. Just acting. See? Without center. Without as they want to. Very great. See? That's what we call it the Dharma body. That's a Dharma body, not a human body. Already. This is why the mind is not human thing. This is why the mind is not a human thinking. This is very important thing. See, that's what we are totally misunderstanding. What the people think is the mind is a human thinking, human activity. Totally different, totally different. That is why the mind is not a human thinking. See, this is a very important thing. See? It is not a human thinking, but a natural action, not natural action that is inherent in your originality. So weird. Listen, see this Dharma body, that is what others six, those other six function of six senses. See? And then thinking or thought is one of it. One of it, as I just mentioned, exact same as the rest of five senses. See? Without center, without center, without center. See? Those six senses are just acting. See? Without any trouble, without any trouble. Garrison, only trouble is you are always sleeping in the library. that's that's a whole problem. Okay. Okay. But a natural action that is inherent in your original. All right. With our originality, the same thing. It is a natural action. That is not natural, not a human action. That is not a human action. That is a natural action. Well, you may say universal. That is the universal action. Tremendous difference. Tremendous difference from what we think of. See? That is a natural action, or that is a universal action. So as long as you leave it to itself, so as long as you leave it to itself and don't bother with it at all, then it is all right. So, thinking is a universal action. So, even if you try to do anything, you cannot do. Universal, not a human. You'll never be able to do anything. That's the simple ready to go as a kid. That's totally enough. You never be able to. You never be able to do anything. That's reason. That's it. Simply ready to go as a kid. Then it doesn't bother you at all. It bothers you. It doesn't bother you at all. Okay. Very, very, very important thing. Don't bother with it at all. Then it is all right. You don't have any trouble. Things is very simple. As long as you just care much, as long as you don't care much about the thinking, so you never have any trouble. That's it. That's you worried about. You are worried about what arises, saying delusion have arrived. They have arrived. We don't need to care. We don't need to worry about anything. That's exactly the same thing. when we just see the God is, ah, he's, he's, he's still sleeping. He's always sleeping. Well, what do we have to do? We don't need to do anything. Simply let him, let him, let him sleep as he wants. Very good. But we just simply try to do the same. We simply try to do anything. Something. It's called us trouble. It's called simply let it go. That's a totally enough. Okay. Where is it? Oh, okay. You worried about what arise, saying delusion have arrived. They have arrived. See? It's simply just common, without any reason, any kind of thinking. See? Or so any kind of thinking or so come out in our mind without any reason. People don't know much about this theory. That's the reason people always try to deal with, try to figure out whatever. See? That's a totally useless. That's a totally useless. You're worried about this. What's come to mind is just what's come to mind. Very simple. Even we try to just try to figure out why the guys just have to just sleep in a library. It's totally useless. when he is asleep, when he just is sleeping, just sleeping as it is. Nothing anymore. Nothing anymore. Okay, we don't need to care about it, but okay. But people just always try to try to deal with it. And that's causes us trouble. What's come to mind is just what's come to mind. You should not engage with it. This is a very important thing. Simply just let it go. Whatever thinking and thought come out, simply let it go. But it's easy to say. It is, but it's a totally difficult. So, especially modern people, they're always thinking, always try to think of whatever just the problem, question, trouble come out in our mind. Always try to figure out, try to deal with thinking. See? It's a kind of habitual habit, in a sense. See? But as long as you do this way, you never be able to be free from everything. If you want to just satisfy, if you just want to satisfy with yourself, simply let it go. Let it go. You don't need to worry about it. See? Thinking also, nothing concerns with our activity, our daily life. And that's the reason we don't need to worry about thinking also the rules. Okay. So what's come to mind? Okay. You should not engage. You should not engage with it. And this is a very important thing. This is the see. This is the this is the thing we wanna ask you to do. See? Otherwise, you never be able to encounter the essentials. You should not engage with it because you engage with it, it bothers you. Because see, You do you very useless thing. See, we don't need to do it, but if we do it, see, we completely just separate from the essential thing. It's called as that's reason simply just little bit. It is totally enough. Okay. It's bothers you. It is then it is then that you start working about it. If you leave it as it is, there is no word. See? It is then that you start working. Hey, if you leave it as it is, see? There is no word. See? This is that. See? This is that. Whatever you think, you just come out in your mind. See? Without any reason. So we don't need to take care of it at all. Simply let it go as it is. Although it's easy to say, but difficult. But as I just as Shakyamuni Buddha or Pedro just teaching, if you completely satisfied with your present life, present your life, you should do it. Then you will be able to just be satisfied with yourself. Okay, and only this way, only this. It is then that you start working about it. If you leave it thinking yourself as it is, there is no worry. Then what you used to call delusion will naturally calm down. Very, very great. You don't need to do anything. It's simply just you do this. Whatever just thinking sort of come out in your mind. See, you just simply let it go as it is. You do this, you do this is other. You do this is other. Then what you used to uh, call delusion will naturally, without doing anything, naturally calm down, calm, dropped away. See, this is that. This is that because you will realize that it is not a delusion. Delusion itself is not a delusion. Delusion itself is not a delusion, just delusion. People call people call it call the delusion. See, with the kind of meaning of delusion. See, without 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 meaning of delusion. See, delusion is not delusion itself is not a delusion, just delusion as it is. Very simple. You put the meaning of you put the meaning and it comes the delusion. People just dislike. You do it. See, delusion itself is not a delusion at all. See? In that sense, you will be able to realize that it is not a delusion. Delusion is not a delusion itself. See? Because it's never about it's never bothers you, bothers at all. As long as you think about the delusion, I don't dislike or we don't dislike, it causes trouble. See? Garrison, guys, why don't you just like a delusion? Although the delusion itself don't like you. Okay, okay, that's it. human being, human beings have their own thought and associates with things at their own convenience. This is a way. This is a we are always just doing. It's caused us trouble. See? Always what people just try to do. Try to do is see the things that the people always the same to 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 create triggers as they want as they want. For the things nothing concerns thinking. See, things nothing concerned with the thinking. Just coming out. That's it. The things in or you might say delusion or kind of delusion or the misunderstanding or the kind of the irritated are the ideas coming out. Without anything is coming out and it disappears. Yeah. Nothing concerned with the thinking. Nothing concerned with the thinking. But the thing is, we have to, but we always try to deal with the things that come on in our mind. Without any peace. See, this causes us trouble. Human beings have their own thought and associate with things at their own condition. See, always people just acting as they want to. Always people just try to be acting as they want. Because people just recognize this one as I or the same. That's the reason people always have to do this way. It's a totally useless nonsense. Nonsense. This one is not a human being. This one, this is empty. Why we have to do? That's the reason. Because once, we just recognize this one as a self, as an I. This is a total misunderstanding for us. That's the reason we attach much every day. This is what we call the self I. Very much. That's the reason we have to do judging. See? Then once we just become as it is. There is no separation between this and it. Then what you think what you think of the self or I completely dropped away. That is the Shakyamuni Buddha's realization. That's the Shakyamuni Buddha's completely dropped. See? Non-self is unity. See, non-self is unity. That's much the essential self. Our essential self is so tremendous. Non-self is unity. Once we just recognize this one as I, the self, there is a certain separation between the universe and what you think about the self. See? Then people always have to have a question, trouble, or the problem. Very unfortunate, but very fortunate. Shakyamuni Buddha just realized, see, our the Shakyamuni Buddha realized who he was, then we are completely safe. We are completely safe for his realization. Okay, human beings have their own thought and associated with things at their own convenience. You should not do this. See? This is this causes trouble, patient problem. Simply just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let's go thinking of thought as it is. This is totally enough. You should have to let it go. Well, that's it. You just have to let it go. Then the whole thing is let to let to go as it is. See, the whole thing is let to work as it is. The whole things, whole thing, just work as a universal activity. The whole thing just work as a universal activity. Right now, right now, right now. Our activity is a universal, not a human activity. But people don't know much about this reality, unfortunately. See? Then the whole then the whole thing is left to work as it is completely. That is a version of Shakyamuni Buddha and the ancestors. See? Once is just completely let's go thinking of soul as it is. Then you so people become yeah, realistic. Yeah, as I just thought. But see, you are always more than the 1 square meter space. It's all right. Doesn't matter. But one square meter space will be all right. Okay. More half of it. Doesn't matter. Then you simply set. See, if you have a kind of a round question, that's much better without no problem. Okay. Then the main thing, the most important thing is see, as a dog and as the master dog just teaches, whatever thinking and thought comes in our mind, simply just let it go as it is. See, then, see, eventually, a kind of square meter space become whole universe. Whole universe. This is the Shakyamuni Buddha's realization. Without doing anything, you will become a master of the universe. You become not much like a master of a rival. A master of that. No, that's a tiny. That's you should become a master of the universe. Okay. This is that's the reason. That's the reason we have to do that. This is the way the Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs or ancestors become the master of the universe. But they just become a master of the universe. I'm so great. The final, what Jinen Roshi just teaching us is the reality cannot be taught. See, reality cannot see. Oh, you said you just recorded. Oh, this is reality. This is part. That is another reality. See, reality is the yourself. Just yourself as it is. So you never be able to realize what reality is. Once if you just realize, if you just recognize reality, that is not a reality. That's a creation of thinking. That is a creation of thinking. Then how you will be able to realize what reality is. See? Now this is a reality. Understand? You your way of thinking just moves slightly. That's that is not the truth. That is not the truth. Okay. The reality cannot be touched. See, observation is to investigate and attach ideas to that which has already been done as fact. See, that's it. That's it. The happening in thinking. That's it. Okay. Okay, observation is to investigate and attach idea to that which has already been done as fact. That is another fact. that is not a reality. That's a delusion. You never be able to recognize what reality is. See? Because of oneness. Because of oneness. If it is the reality itself, no problem could arise. No problem. Very fortunate. Without awareness. See? Without awareness is become one. Without self. We are simply acting. We are completely acting in our daily life. That's the reason we never have any trouble, creation problem at all. But although just understanding, although you just understand these things, see, in concept, there is no use. There is no use. See, once you just become this sound itself, then you never have any trouble. See? Once you just become this sound, then you never have any trouble. That is the Shakyamuni Buddha's realization. God is good night. Very good. Hi. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. So we're going to have the next Dharma Talks, the day of Saitama. Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you.